Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge thank you for all the support you guys show me. I really do appreciate it. So today I thought I'd come back to this Happy Hearts again, just purely because, you know, we're in that week before Valentine's Day. So I wanted to do something again with this. It just lends itself to that sort of card. I'm going to go sort of a bit more masculine with it, although there will be a bow. Okay, so let's get started. I'll just pop that out of the way a second. Okay, so I'm going to start with an 8x8 card blank, pretty much. And I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. So just working out, so this is going to be the front. So, okay, so I'm going to put this on. So this is the front of my card, so this is going to be my fold there, and I'm just going to do a bit of embossing, just the lines like I did before. I'm going to start, so I've got my score line here just before the 8 inches, and I'm just going to come in at every little line there. So it's going to be at the 1/4 of the inch and the line in between. And I'm coming in with this Crafter's Companion tool just because it's going to get right into that line there. And I am going over it a couple of times, and I can do that because that it is Crafter's Companion. No, it's not. It's a thick cardstock, so it is like the Crafter's Companion one, so it's probably going to be about 300 GSM. And last time I had the embossing on the outside so that it was poking up. This time I'm using the debossing on the front of my card just to add a little bit of detail. Okay, so let's pop that away just for a second and bring in my trimmer. And I'm going to be using this pearl sort of navy-ish type blue. Came out of the Bethlehem. And I'm going to cut this to a 6x6 square. And I also want some just plain white cardstock as a mat. So this is just not pearl, it's just multi-purpose. And I'm just cutting that down to 2 notches below the 6. So I'll put those to the side for now. Okay, so this is obviously going to fit on here like so. That will go onto our card. Now the only diamond dies that I've got are these carnation ones, so I am going to be using those. I'm pretty sure if you've got a square die from Crafter's Companion, you know, anything like that, you would be able to use that. Or if you've got these diamond ones in, that's perfect as well. And I'm just going to cut, so let me bring that die in. I may go a little bigger. So we've got our heart one there. I think that's going to be fine by the time we've matted and layered on the inside. So I'm going to bring my ruler in. Where did you go? So if I put this on my mat quite nice and straight, and I kind of want it to be even, the sides and the bottom. So if we have a little look, so it's nearly 6, and my diamond is 3 1/4. So we've got 1 and nearly 1 1/2 there. And I've got so just move it over, or we could go for a completely random sort of it's going to be better if I go random, and then because I have got something that's going to come down here. So let me just get this tape. And I think we're sort of level. Bring that down a little bit. I'm just checking the space above my ruler, so I've got my ruler on that line, and I think we're fine with the space above and below. So that's that. So let's pop that on and get that cut through. Don't need that one yet. And then we've got our little sandwich, and we're just going to pop that through. And then the next thing I want to do is bring in this mask. So it is bigger than my plate, but it's not bigger than my piece. So let's see, we want that on the left. So it needs to be that way. I believe it does not a big problem. If it's not, we'll just swap our design around a little bit. But I'm pretty sure it needs to be like that. And I'm just making sure all of my card is on. And then we've got our mat and our other two plates, not our magnetic mat. Never use the magnetic with the embossing mat. Bring that out. Yeah, and then I don't know if you, yeah, you can see that. So you've got all those lovely hearts there all over. Okay, so that is our piece for that. So we can pop that stencil away. We're done with that one. So the next thing I want to do is to bring in two of these diamonds. So I want the next size up, and what I want to do is just make a frame to go around the outside of the aperture that I've just cut. Okay, I don't know if I want to go a little wider than that actually. Let's just go to the next one, see what that looks like. And obviously you don't have to do this in a diamond shape, you could do this in any shape you like. Yeah, that's around about what we want. Just move that down a little bit. And then I'm going to just put that across there. And if I grab my scissors, pop that there. And then the other thing we need now is going to be the next size down from that one, which is going to be on the blue, although saying that the blue is going to show through. So if I miss that one and go to my next one, this is also going to be on the white. And we'll see, I'm pretty sure that's right, but we'll stack them up when they come out and we'll see what happens. So all of my pieces back in, and pop that through our Gemini. So originally on my plan I thought I was going to be cutting another blue one out, but I think we might be able to use that base layer. I mean, I could gut it and do it that way, but so I'm just peeling this off super carefully, because it's always nice to try and keep these bits intact in case you need them. There, and then I've got my frame, and my frame is going over the top like that. Okay, and then we've got this piece that goes in there, so that bit's done. Don't know if I want that a little bit wider now. I'm thinking maybe, which one is, we did it that way. Sorry, you know I like to change my mind as I go along. Yeah, I'm going to cut that again, just a little bigger. We might have to still, no, we've got a piece there. We're going to have to use another piece of card then. So obviously I'm going to keep all of these bits because we can use them on another project another day. And I think that's going to look a lot better. Let's move that out of the way. Yeah, because that's got the thinner. So that is going to be a lot better. So let's pop those there. And then if I just tap this die out, because I've been a bit naughty and not cleaned it out from last time. Pokey tool there. There we go. And then across this bottom edge here, I'm going to pick sort of where I want that to go. I think that will be it for me. Let's have a little look, see what that looks like. And then that will go onto our middle bit like so. That's perfect. So let me move those bits out of the way, and I think what we'll do is just assemble to this point, and then we can do the rest. So this piece I am going to go a little bit raised with it, so no, I'm not. I'm going flat on that one, raised on the blue. Oh, raised on the white, just to give us that height difference. So I am using the all-purpose just on the back of this. And it's just a case of being careful that it doesn't splurge out. So I'm just going to pop that sort of centrally. Okay, and then I'm going to use these hunky-dory pads. I could have used the foam on the roll really, but not to worry. So let's just pop onto there. And if you wanted to, you know, obviously you could make this into a shaker card. Just to give it a bit of movement. There's plenty of support where I think it's going to need it. Piece there, piece there. And if I just take another piece off there, I think if I press that down, actually I might. Oh, there's a piece there. That's fine. Okay. So I'm just going to peel all of these backs off. And I am, as always, just going to put a bit of tacky glue on, just for a bit of wiggle time, a bit of extra protection with the glue. This over, just pop that over the top like so. Let's see if we can get that straight. Just to go over just a tiny bit. That's a bit better. Okay, and then this piece is just going to be a bit of tacky glue and the edge all the way around. You can use your dotted tape pen if you prefer. Oops, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. That's just going straight over that hole if it wants to stick, just because we've embossed that little bit with the mask. Might need to put a little bit of pressure on it just while it does that. I've got a little bit of glue on there, but I don't think it's going to matter in the end by the time we've put our other bit on. Okay, and then this bit again we need to pop some pads on to the back of. So obviously we're only going to be able to do that in certain places because we don't want it to be seen. So just going to be super careful. But again, I do want it to be nicely supported. So I'm just going to pull a bit there. And I think if I've got, actually what I'll do is I'll just trim here. I'll just pop that on that edge, just to give it a little bit on that side. And there's no reason why you couldn't use glitter card instead of this one, or pearl card instead of this white, just to give that sort of luxurious sort of finish. I tend to work mostly with the matte more than I do the pearl, just purely because I think sometimes when I emboss it, it catches, and then you get sort of marks from the plate and things. So I like to have a little play with the mattes. I find they're a bit easier to work with. Okay, so that's as far as we've got at the moment. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to bring in, it's a Creative Expressions die. And if I just grab it out, this is one that was designed by Phil Martin, so it's quite a number of years old now. And we've got a nice boyfriend on there. And we've also got a couple of small hearts. So if I can get it off, look, I've never used it before, so I'm going to take, actually I'm not going to take those hearts. What I'm going to do is cut this die again and use the blue hearts from that. So if I cut that through, okay. So let's bring my plates back in, let's load those up. Should be able to do both of these at the same time. So is that going to fit across there nicely? No, luckily we've got another piece here. So let's pop. Apologies if you can hear Henry barking. So we've got that one there, and then we've got this spare bit of blue here. I'm just going to pop that across like so. And I think that is it for the moment. So let's pop those through. So we've got, bring all those little hearts out. There, and there's some dots as well. And we've got our boyfriend, which should have cut quite nicely. Let's get our little pokey tool. 1, 2. It's quite a nice size, this one, so I'll measure it for you in just a second. Like I say, it is an old one, may even be retired because Phil Martin has his own size now. So let's see. So it's nearly 4 inches by about ½ inch. Okay. I think if I've got enough blue there, what I'll do. How much blue I've got once I've taken this out. Might have to just get another piece. I'm not using any of this. I could keep it and use it, but I'm not going to do that today. So I'm just going to cut this boyfriend again out of the blue just so I can shadow it. So I'll pop that through. We're nearly done, so this is quite a quick card really. Although there's to and froing with the machine, it's not a lot to it really. Oops. Breaking that off. Let's just pop that out nice and gently. There we go. We've got another boyfriend. Okay, so I'm gonna just pop a little bit of glue onto my hand. Obviously, if you're allergic or your skin doesn't react very well to the glues, then please don't do this. Use a dotty tape pen or take the time to go around it with your fine tip applicator. I touch wood, never had a problem yet, so I'm just going to put that over the top, she says. I just want a tiny little hint of a blue shadow. And this does two things. So first of all, it just sort of elevates the design a little bit. And the other thing it does is strengthen it because you've got 2 layers of card there. Okay, so let's move these over and then we can start to do a little bit of decorating. Okay, so next let's start with our decoration. So we've got our boyfriend, which is going to go around about the bottom there. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this is going to be quite time consuming, so apologies, I might skip forward to this being done, but I'm just going to use my clear sparkle overlay pen, and I'm just going to lift this up to the light a little bit just so I can see, and then just on the inside of those hearts I'm just going around super delicately and just add in a little hint of this sparkle. And you don't have to do them all if you don't want to. It's just something just to, you know, sometimes how I say it's nice just to have something to pick up the light, and this will do that because it's clear, so you're not really going to see it when you're looking at it, but you can just see, I don't know if I can get the camera to pick it up, but there's just like a little hint of something there. So I'm just going to go around and do all of these little hearts on the inside. Like I say, you don't have to. You could, if you've got glossy highlights, you could go around and do that. Or if you don't have glossy highlights but you've got a clear embossing pen, like a Versamarker, you could, before you'd stuck it down, you would have to do this. You could go around the inside with your Versamarker pen and then just put some clear embossing powder on, or you could go with pale blue or any of your colours really. Just something just to add a little bit of something to it. That's, you know, I think the greatest pleasure I get in crafting is taking like a plain piece of card, like this plain white piece of card, and then when it's actually on the card it actually looks like it's been something that's been processed in a way, but you know it isn't. You know that you've done all that yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to skip forward a little bit, so bear with me while I just get this completed. Okay, so that's all done, and I think you can see now where that just picks up that sparkle on those hearts. Just gives it a little bit of something. And you know, even if the person you're giving it to is not too glittery, because it doesn't shed, because it's not really in your face, you're the only one who's going to see that when it's on a shelf. And the other thing I did was just go round the edge of this frame like that, with just to tie that glitter in there. Okay, right, let's come back to our boyfriend. And I think I'm just going to do this glue on the back of my hand again, just to try and get it so it's not all oozing out. Just enough to give it a good amount of stick. And I am going to have it coming over so that we're tying our outer frame with our inside, and I don't mind that that's hanging over. So it's not so much that it's going to be a problem, although it may squish down a little bit in the card, but it will be fine. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just tap all these hearts. Let's get the dye brush and do it that way. So you want all these little blue hearts. Don't you run away. There we go. I'm going to bring in my sticky picker up tool. So I'm just going to add some of these hearts in. I'm doing it on this lower frame, so this is pretty much what I'm doing with that piece. So I'm just going to put a couple of little ones there. I do just want little ones going in different directions. Let's turn that one over. And I'm even just going to put two of the little dots that come out as well. And there. And I'm going to do the same in this bottom corner here. Put a couple of bits on there. I don't want the hearts too big. Two of these little dots, so every little bit that comes out can be used. Just obviously have to be quite careful how you save them. Okay, so that's already looking quite nice. I'm not doing anything on these side because we've got that emboss in there. So the next thing I need to do, I did find my little green tray, and I think it's going to have to be these ones here. And those are probably going to be the right size for that frame. Yeah. So just two things left to do now. So I'm just going to come in, if I put a bit of glue on the top, middle, and there. This is just to add a little bit of luxury to the card. Just again, so on the end, in the middle, and then in the middle of those bits. And if you wanted to, you could go chunkier with this frame. Absolutely down to you on how you feel. You could even, oh sorry, we're going at the top. You could even put flowers in there if you are giving it to someone that likes flowers, or if you're changing this up to make it a bit more feminine. I mean, this is not unfeminine, apart from the fact it's got a boyfriend on it. A couple more. Okay, and then just to finish it off, and I know I don't usually use ribbon on a sort of mail card, but I am on this one just because I think it needs it. So my bone maker is still downstairs. Just get that nice and tight. Going to go with little tails on this one if I can get it to go right. Nope. Let's go with that. Okay, let's pull these down a little bit. And I'm going to bring in a little bit of 3D glue gel. So I might just bring this down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put a nice blob up here, so I could have got away with not putting a pearl there. I'll just put this over the top, and then just as a little finishing touch, I think maybe that size, just put a little bit, tiny weeny bit of glue. I'm just going to pop that into the centre of my bow. Okay, obviously it does need a little insert in there, but that's my sort of idea for today's card. Obviously you could go with multiple layers. You could have gone sort of blue white, or gold, silver white. You could have put little glitter things in here that replace these hearts with glitter ones. This could have been a glitter panel. You know, there's loads of different ways that you can mix it up, but I'm sort of really into using masks at the moment. I just noticed the heart that hasn't got some glitter. Hold on a second, that won't do. Yeah, I'm really into using masks at the moment. I love my embossing folders, but this sort of masks are such a brilliant thing, and I've got so many of them as well. It's like embossing folders, there's so many of them. I'm really sort of experimenting with them at the moment. But that's everything for today. So just the one card. Next time it's going to be Hunky Dory. I'm not sure if it's going to be the new club gift, or if it will be another one. I have got, I did become a diamond member, so I have got a diamond member kit here. And just in case you don't know, it is member week over at Hunky Dory, so deals all week I think. And on Friday, if you like your dogs, you need to be watching 10 o'clock. They usually start streaming our time here in the UK. Yeah, they've got a lovely little dog kit coming, so that is going to be mine for sure. But there's lots of good deals, and I think it's extra discount as well, so worth having a little look if you fancy some Hunky Dory goodies. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Well done if you stayed with me to the end. I know it's going to be quite a long one again, but take care of yourselves. See you next time. Bye bye.